than 1,000 kids in San Diego who are experiencing homelessness on any given night. Although there are different reasons for this, the result is they typically have few opportunities for education, employment, or social interaction. The Urban Street Angels is a nonprofit organization with the goal of ending youth homelessness in San Diego by offering supportive housing, food, and job training programs to prevent these kids from becoming our next generation of homeless adults if we don't break the cycle. My guest today is Jerry Troyer, Program Manager of Shelter Operations and founding board member of the Urban Street Angels. Welcome to PACE, Jerry.
Thank you. Great to be here.
That's really a pleasure to have you, and I'm so excited to have these people learn about Urban Street Angels.
Thank you.
And I want you to first tell us what that is.
Urban Street Angels, we are an organization that targets transition age youth, ages 18 to 25, to do exactly what you said, to end the cycle of homelessness by offering them a shelter, Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, and then also housing and employment in order to break this cycle of homelessness.
Okay, and this is done in a lot of ways, but you have two locations?
We have two locations for our shelter, so Tuesday nights at Mission Gathering Church in North Park, Tuesday night through Wednesday morning, Thursday night through Friday morning at Meridian Baptist Church in El Cajon. So that's our hand out. Then our hand up is our housing and employment program.
Right. And the angels you're talking about are the kids, not
Yes.
the people that are the angels that are helping and volunteering and doing all that, which they also are angels. But you're talking about street angels, and these are the homeless kids. And you're choosing that age group because?
And let me just say, the reason for that name is that passage in the Bible in Hebrews, and I can't talk about this without getting emotional, but entertaining angels unawares.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Taking care of these angels.
Very nice, very nice. And you were a minister. Are you still a minister?
I was and still am.
Okay,
yes.
that's how you know
Right.
all this. That's
Yes.
so wonderful.
Right.
But this is not a religious affiliation, this group. So
No, we started as an outreach of Mission Gathering Church, and at the time our founder was the senior minister there. He left the church and we separated from Mission Gathering, became our own 501c3 nonprofit organization, but we're fortunate enough to be able to use Mission Gathering's facility still. So that's where we do our Tuesday night shelter.
And it's very generous of them
Incredibly
to do
generous.
that.
We are very, very grateful.
And
yes.
when did it start?
We started 7 years ago. And actually even longer than that, Mission Gathering was going out into the community and handing out sack lunches and burritos and that sort of thing. And then 7 years ago, Eric Lovett, our founder and executive director, began to do what needed to be done to make us our own 501c3 organization. And that's during that time was when I met Eric, and then he asked me to come on as a founding board member.
I see. And so you have a board, and you have a few people that are paid, but a lot of volunteers.
Many, many volunteers, yes.
At all of your locations.
Right.
And you have to count on those people.
They are amazing and beyond. I am so grateful for my wonderful volunteers. Yes.
I'll bet. How do kids end up on the street when they're so young?
Some age out of the foster care system and have no place to go. Some are abused at home, whatever home looks like, sexually, physically, emotionally, spiritually, so just abused. And so for some reason, they're not able to stay in the home situation, or there is no home situation. The father is gone and mother's living in the car, or they've come out to the family as gay or lesbian, just many, many different reasons. But for whatever reason, they weren't able to stay in a home situation and felt the need to leave and wound up on the streets of San Diego.
Right. One thing that impressed me when I visited was the ability that you have of embracing all of these children, no matter what brings them there, no matter what shape they're in, no matter what they look like when they walk in, and some of them need a shower and are needy. But you take them in and you say, I like you the way you are, and whatever you'd like to get from us, if you want extra services, here they are, but if you don't, and you go back on the street, it's your choice. Is that the idea?
That is the idea, and the foundation for the shelters, as well as for the housing program, is unconditional love. You know, whoever you are, wherever you've come from, whatever your situation is, we're there to offer you a safe place to stay overnight, offer you a shower if you want it, dinner, and most especially a safe place to sleep.
And I must say that the food is wonderful. When I was there, you had pizza as an appetizer, and then they were following a main meal. And meanwhile, a warm bed with, it looked like a very comfortable place to spend the night. And I know a lot of those kids must really appreciate it. I want to hear about the services, though. What kind of services do you offer?
At the shelters, we partner with a lot of wonderful community organizations. Family Health comes twice a month and offers appointments for young people that need to see a doctor or need to sign up for a Medi-Cal or something like that. Youth Alliance Coalition, or YAC, Youth Alliance Coalition, comes twice a month, and they help with getting your ID card or your birth certificate, because a lot of the young people have left home with no documentation whatsoever. So they can work with them to get that documentation and use YAC's mailing address to have the whatever it is mailed to them. So a lot of services, a lot of referrals. So we work with a lot of community organizations, as well as, of course, our Bridge Housing program. So we have representatives from there come and talk with the youth who are interested in getting off the streets and into that program.
And okay, so the residential facility downtown is where these kids can start to think about getting a job.
You come in, get your feet on the ground, and then you need to be working either through our soap business called 8 West or through one of our other community partners, or you need to be going to school. So it's not just a place to hang out, it's a place to begin to get your feet on the ground and get your life back together.
But the good part is they get a bedroom of their own, or do they share rooms?
Share a room.
Okay.
But
so they have a roommate.
But have a roommate, but 3 meals a day, a lot of help with life skills. You know, what we know because our parents or grandparents or some other family member taught us, but so many of these youth didn't have the opportunity to learn how to have a relationship, how to deal with another person, how to manage money, all of those things. So that's a big part of it as well, is giving them those life skills and that information that they need. And one of the things we've determined in a short period of time is the way you find out what somebody needs is you ask them. So we have a lot of conversations and from time to time with our youth in the shelters as well. What services do you need? How can we help you? What areas of your life are missing? How can we serve you?
And so some kids know that and some kids probably don't, huh?
That's certainly true.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you just have to keep asking the question, I
Right.
guess. Yeah.
Right.
It's a tough one. And the programs, Just Be You.
Just Be You is a new program for us. We're working with youth coming out of the jail system, often with a mental health challenge. So they come in, that's a 3-month program, and we're working with them on a holistic basis. So rather than just handing them a pill, we work with them with exercise, with chiropractic, with biofeedback, with counseling, with a lot of different opportunities. And we've developed an app for a smartphone, and so that keeps track of their blood pressure and their moods, and we ask, how are you feeling and what happened today and what was your reaction and those kinds of things. So a much more holistic approach.
And you reward the kids when they reach a certain point, I guess, with a bell.
Yes.
What's that? What's that about?
The bell is because it's so important to honor people, how far they've come, and especially these youth that might have never had an unconditional attaboy. So when they get a job, when they get a degree or complete a course or just whatever the case might be, we are very big on recognizing their progress.
And everyone else hears about it.
And everybody else hears about it, right.
That's so great.
Yes.
All right, so Another program you have is your 8 West. So tell us about that.
We found that many homeless youth congregate in Ocean Beach, the Ocean Beach area of San Diego. How do you get to Ocean Beach? 8 West. So that's the reason for the name. Mm-hmm. And you'll notice that the names of, so this is our high-end bar soap business. And each of the bars of soap, each fragrance has a different ocean-related name.
And you happen to have some right here.
I just happen to have some with me.
And they are very creative.
Sandy Bottom, Vitamin
Sandy
C, Pirate Booty.
Oh, Vitamin C, SEA.
SEA, right.
Yes, very cute. Pirate Booty.
Pirate Booty.
And Sunnyside.
Sunnyside.
And Float My Boat.
Right.
And Peer Pressure.
And Peer Pressure.
So cute. And they smell incredible.
Oh, they smell so good.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. And so you sell these where?
We sell these on our website, the www.8west.org, as well as 6 or 7 or 8 retail stores around San Diego.
That you can find on your website.
On our website, right. Yes.
Great. Now, go ahead.
And these go. These are mixed, created, cut, boxed, and marketed by the youth in our program. And you'll notice on the back of the box, whichever youth created that bar of soap has signed the box. Which is,
you mean a box that? Oh yeah.
Yes. Yep.
There it is.
So Emily did that one, which is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool that you have them do that.
Yes.
That's really great.
So there's that, and there's that pride of ownership.
Absolutely.
I did that. And so all of the proceeds from the soap business goes to fund our housing program.
Oh my goodness. And this factory is in the building downtown as well. And we have a video that I want to show our folks, and it's wonderful to show them how this all works. So let's take a look at that.
There are over 3,000 young people living and sleeping on the community streets in San Diego, and countless more across the country that find their way here. Many have endured traumatic family experiences. Abuse and abandonment are commonplace. They feel forgotten, unloved, unworthy. They don't trust easily, and for many of them, going back home is not a viable option or solution. We've engaged thousands of homeless youth, and the existing government and charitable support available to them today is not a sustainable solution. For the past 7 years, we've been walking the streets, parks, and beaches and providing homeless youth with meals, water, hygiene kits, socks, backpacks, sleeping bags, as well as community resources. A warm meal, temporary shelter, and counseling is a good start, but it isn't the long-term solution that is needed for meaningful change. This is why Urban Street Angels is launching 8 West, a sustainable business venture that provides a job program, supportive housing, and mentorship for homeless youth who are ready to help themselves and ready to engage with supportive and caring adults. Through 8 West, our goal is to help homeless youth emerge from obscurity and establish a foothold that gets them off the street before they become chronically homeless. Here's how the 8 West model works. As a not-for-profit business entity, we are launching a premium, hand-milled, organic, fair trade line of bath, spa, and shower products under the name 8 West. These products will be available for purchase through our e-commerce website and at local retailers. Through the sale of our 8 West products, we're able to provide housing, mentorship, and fund additional outreach efforts. However, even more importantly, the production and manufacturing are entirely done by homeless youth, providing and offering a work program that helps them develop new skills and a work ethic to begin to build trust. As valuable as it is to provide charitable outreach to the homeless, the 8 West program is much more. It is a self-sustaining model that provides housing under the care of a house parent. It's a job program where young people work together and learn vital employment skills and safe and trusting relationships with mentors aimed at helping those homeless youth reintegrate into society. Ultimately, the long-term sustainable transition used by the Aid West program will have deeply recursive effects through the economy using the homeless to hopeful model. We are launching an intensive 6-month capital campaign where we're seeking donors to help us raise $500,000. This funding will help us expand our current Aid West program and enable us to fully launch the business, providing immediate jobs, housing, and work opportunities for our homeless youth. We have 5 homeless youth engaged currently in the business, with housing capacity for an additional 5 more. Through the funding of the Aid West program, our goal is to facilitate 30 young homeless living and working together, building the skills necessary to re-engage in society. As our business grows, we are looking to reach our goal of 100 successful transitions from the streets by 2020. Play a role today in helping launch this sustainable, hand-up model that will have a tremendous impact on helping so many homeless youth.
The Aid West program that you have is one of the ways that you can help these kids become more responsible. You teach them how to be on time, I guess, and to show up every day.
How to have a job. How
Right.
do I get out of bed and make sure I'm there on time? How do I interact with people that maybe I'd be just as happy not to?
Mm-hmm.
All of those, again, those life skills that they wouldn't necessarily have learned from parents or grandparents, we help them with that.
And how to work with a boss.
Right. Yes, exactly.
That's a skill a lot of people need. So that's one of the programs that you have at your building downtown, and you also have a gym down there. And so what do you do with the gym? Do the kids just get access to it and they can play basketball there? Is that what it's for?
There's a certain period of time during the day where they can go in and use the gym. We have wonderful volunteers that come in and work with them on weight training and that sort of thing. Also a basketball court so they can play basketball at certain hours of the day as well.
And I'm assuming this is equal boys and girls. I mean, everyone
Yes,
can use
right,
that facility.
right.
And you have chiropractic help
We do.
partners, and you have dental prop. And also, what about the donation I saw of toothpaste and toothbrushes and that sort of thing? Where does that come from?
We have amazing, wonderful partners in the community. Intuit, Hoyle Cohen, Liberty Mutual, OHM Center for Spiritual Living in La Mesa, many different community organizations. Center for Spiritual Living in Bonita just donated some blankets. So we have some wonderful community partners, and it's such a great program for team building or for like an organization
Absolutely.
that wanted to reach out to a community organization. It's a great opportunity for them to do that.
Absolutely.
So we are very, very grateful for that generosity.
Now, we haven't talked about the actual preparation of the meals, because that's what I got to observe, and I got to interview your wonderful people in the kitchen. And where does the food come from? Because that's a lot of food that you have to prepare and have ready for all these folks.
And just so you know, so the shelter on Tuesday afternoons, the youth arrive between 5 and 7. We meet them at the door with pizza and something to drink, because of course we have no way of knowing when the last time was they had something to eat. So they have pizza, then at 7 o'clock we serve dinner, then dessert, there's snacks overnight, leftovers and snacks overnight, and then breakfast Wednesday morning about 8 o'clock. The fundamental or the base of dinner comes from wonderful donations from UCSD's Food Recovery Network. So we'll have salmon one week, and we'll have just really, and you walk in the community room at Mission Gathering and it just smells so good. It's just wonderful. So Emmy de Guzman, our food coordinator, as well as his wonderful volunteers, are there to heat the pizzas and then prepare the food from UCSD. And then we purchase the salads and the side dishes and so forth, and then the food for breakfast Wednesday morning.
So you certainly have to keep up with all the requirements of the city on the food preparation and the
We do,
gloves and the whole
yes.
thing. And then the kids stay overnight, and the next morning they have breakfast, which is substantial, I understand, as well.
Always a hot breakfast, so not just cold cereal, but eggs and sausage and bagels or something, because we want to send them out again with a full stomach. So Tuesday afternoon they arrive between 5 and 7. We work with Tay Academy and San Diego Youth Services. They bring some of our folks that want to come and spend the night, and then we take our van out to Ocean Beach and pick up anybody that wants to come, and then Wednesday morning take them back to OB, and then take them back to Tay Academy or Oasis Clubhouse, which are 2 day programs for homeless youth.
So when you pull up your van in Ocean Beach, what happens? Do they see the logo on the outside of the van?
They do.
They say, "Oh boy, this is Tuesday. It must be Tuesday."
Must be Tuesday, right? Yes, and so a lot of them say, "Oh boy," and they're waiting in line for us, and so they pile into the van and away we go. Some aren't familiar with us or haven't been before, so we explain who we are and what we do and what they can expect and that sort of thing.
So donations.
Yes.
You get donations from companies, and you get things donated. Now, I saw on your website you have a beautiful car that you just donated.
We do.
And that was very generous of you. And a van that you
Yes.
donated.
Yes.
And that's very useful, obviously, for the group, and I know they must have appreciated it. But you're not asking for cars and vans necessarily. You're asking for mainly money, I think,
Yes.
because that is the best way to help. You also take volunteers, but you're pretty well set for volunteers at the moment, or?
Pretty well set for volunteers.
Which is pretty amazing that you have volunteers that show up and keep on coming back.
I have the most amazing volunteers, and people who volunteer. We ask for a 6-month commitment, and so just about all of my volunteers have been with me for a really long time, including the amazing ones that stay overnight. I have 2 volunteers every Tuesday night through Wednesday morning, and then the Thursday night through Friday morning, because you need somebody overnight to make sure that everything's under control and so forth. So we have volunteers that stay overnight as well. So
pretty
just amazing people.
It is. So if people do want to donate any amount, I guess, of money, then they can just go to your website.
www.urbanstreetangels.org and
Great.
click on donate.
Great.
And we will gratefully accept that.
Great. And what we want to know is your future goals for your group.
Future goals, we would like to expand the housing program to include, because as it stands now, and I should give a shout out to the county because they fund the housing program for us, we'd like to, and it is for youth of this age group, 18 to 25-year-olds with a mental health diagnosis.
I see.
We want to be able to expand this to anyone between the ages of 18 and 25 that wants to get off the streets. We want to be able to help you.
Very
So
good.
we want to expand that, and then we're always looking to expand our shelter program to more nights a week at local area churches. There are other smaller shelters in the county that have 2 or 3 or 5 beds because they're done in a business or at a nonprofit. But if you do it in a church or some other spiritual organization, you can call it a ministry, and there's no limitation as to the numbers. So
That's
we have
interesting.
between 25 and 40 youth in our shelter Tuesday nights, and 10 to 15 to 20 at our shelter on Thursday nights.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
we want another night, and then another night where our youth can get off the streets and get a good night's sleep, and then also expand the housing program
That's great.
And-
Yeah, go ahead.
and get to the point where we don't need to do this anymore.
Oh,
How cool
absolutely.
will that be?
Well, the city seems to be behind it a little bit for all
Yes.
homeless people and trying
Yes.
to get housing for all of people. So somebody
Yes.
has to write grants too. That's another job.
Oh,
isn't
yes,
it?
indeed.
There's a
Yes,
lot of
indeed.
paperwork
Yeah.
involved. Well, I know that what you're doing, Jerry, is very, very special because you're there with your feet are on the ground right there in the center and meeting those kids, and it's a wonderful job you're doing. But
Thank
I
you.
hope that other people will see that this is a worthy cause and donate some money for you. So thank you so much for coming today.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
That was fun.
I wouldn't be here today wasn't for them. You know, when you're on the streets, you don't trust anybody. It doesn't matter who they are, what they're about. Why would you trust anybody if you've been hurt so many times and you've been taken advantage of? You don't want to trust anyone. The street angels, when they were showing up every time, it's something new to you, you know? They extended their hand to me, and I've never had anybody, you know, actually try to help me out. They were the ones that broke the ice for me to actually trust anybody. When they bring, you know, food and clothes and a warm sleeping bag to sleep in, the kids out there are so much appreciated by that, and it's ridiculous, you know. And I took advantage of that. Real quick. Like, I can get help. Urban Street Angels just want to help, and that's all it is. There's no strings attached. I took their advice and I trusted them. I never thought I'd be in the position that I am today thanks to them.
Hey, I'm Bree. We're here at the Mission Gathering. I come here every Tuesdays because there's homemade food, beds, and hot showers. And it helps me just to stay away from the street for one night and clear my head.
Urban Street Angels really helped me, you know, in times of need, you know, that I had been really, you know, needing a shower and a meal and, you know, good people to be around and to be off the streets, you know, and if it's only once a week, then, you know, I'm all for that. So I highly encourage anybody who's in that age range, you know, 18 to 25, you know, to get up here and try it out. So good luck.